What is up, YouTube family? I don't think you guys can hear me yet, but we'll be getting started here in just a second. Okay, just gotta get a couple things set up here, boys, and then we'll be good to go. Hello, hello. Oh no. Okay. Hey, there we go. Okay, we're live. Just let me get a couple things set up here real quick, and then we will get into it. This or live. Bada bing, bada bing. Share this to the space. Chat. The frick. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. We're getting there. Sorry, guys. One of these days I'll get this down smooth. But until then, we're learning. Okay, let me see here. Bang bang. Okay. Okay, cool. So what is up, everybody? Mr. Goo, my man. Good to see you. We're gonna give it just a couple more minutes, see if anybody else joins us. And then we will rock. Rock out with our wieners out. Okay. There's honestly not too terribly much to go over today, but we're going to go over it anyways. First things first, hope you all are doing well. You and all of me. Big things soon come. Just a I don't know if I can keep, I don't know the best way to keep track of the live chats. Oh, okay, nobody in there so far. Awesome. Very good. So I'm going to go ahead and real quick and then we'll get. Okay. Very good. Good. Okay, cool. So this one today is going to be just a little bit more uneventful than usual. We're going to go over some migration progress, some of the stuff that I've done since last time we got together, and where we're going from here. Some ideas that I have for after the migration and whatever else. But okay, so to get started, obviously you can see here that our migration is underway. 10 days, little countdown up here for it. Right now we have the existing CA in here. We can't buy the new CA yet, as the pool is not available. But I'll update this whenever the time comes. Let's take a look at our migration status. Because we needed 13%, or I'm sorry, we needed 10%, and we got 13. So we are going to be migrating. I guess to note back to what I said yesterday or last week, when it comes to the volatility around this, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm just assuming there's going to be some type of repricing. I'm just not exactly sure how that works yet because right now there is. I guess right. There is. Right now, there's 433 million tokens. Actually, I guess I could do this on. Oh, I think it does share it on Soul. But that's not. Okay, so right now there's 116 Soul, and 433 million signs in the current liquidity pool, and that is the base liquidity pool. Um, for those of you that aren't aware, we actually the team we have, gosh, I want to say about 4% of the supply in a liquidity pool as well, that is locked on Streamflow, that we are unable to access and migrate over. Of course, at the end of the day, whatever doesn't get migrated over goes back to the team anyways. So it ends up being a wash or whatever there. But whenever it comes to the seeding of the new pool, this is something that I've been thinking about, because let's just say we'll actually use migrate funds calculator here. I think I went through this last week, but just in case. So right now we have this current total is let's soul scan up. Cut this for total supply. Okay, so right now, if we're at 13%, okay, so right now we'll recover about 16 soul out of this pool. Okay, so what's going to happen after this migration? The initial 14 days that is going to end on the 10th. What's going to happen is all the soul or all the signs that is committed, which right now is 13%, is going to be sold on the open market. And then this soul right here that we recover is going to be paired up with the new token to create the new liquidity. Okay, so that being said, the liquidity pool is going to be very thin initially. We are also, as a team, going to add to this liquidity pool afterwards. But the problem is that the extra tokens that we have are going to be locked up for 90 days. Okay, so we're not going to be able to add to this ourselves for about 90 days. So that being said, um, I would expect there to be a little bit of volatility, especially if we have any uptick in attention, or any uptick in people wanting to buy the token from here, because obviously with thinner liquidity the price moves a little bit more. The end result, we're going to end up filling this back up to what we have here, or at least close. But again, I'm not going to be able to access the new token uh, to even do this until 3 months after we get done. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that there is a way that I can add some beforehand. Like I'll just, whatever is the difference, I can go through and add some Solana to pair with it before, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So we'll have to see, kind of how that plays out. But yeah, so we could have just a couple of months of volatility. Of course, we're under the radar, so I don't think it's going to matter so much, but just something to be aware of, and something that we are going to plan for too, anyways, just in case. So I'm gonna look into see, because we're gonna have to come up with maybe not quite 100 soul, but something close. So something we'll have to figure out there. Yeah. So that being said, the migration's underway. 13% of people have committed to it, which is cool. We've at least hit the threshold. And so now let's pivot a little bit into why we would want to migrate. Okay, so if you're just holding the token for the speculation, sure, that's one thing. But something that I covered this last week too. Twitter off. But we're actually building some pretty cool stuff into this. I'm not going to go through all of it again, but just so you can kind of see. And one thing that's pretty cool too is, and this is something that I added, whether you have the signs token or you have the MFT. Okay, so like right now, I exchanged my 5 million signs for this MFT. I added this as part of the gatekeeping. So whether you have the existing signs token now, or the migration token, you'll still be able to access the site. Okay, or at least the members portion. You can access the rest of the site as it is, anyways. But just so you can see what this looks like, and so this is why you would want to migrate. Okay, because actually I've got this set up, but either way, this is why you don't want to migrate. If you keep in the existing token, you're going to be holding on to just a distant memory of what could have been. The new token, the new CA is going to be what unlocks this stuff. Okay, just like the current one is now. This is going to be replaced with the new address. So like if you want to retain access to some of the stuff that we're building, then I would definitely do that. Okay, so core access has 100K tokens, very small, like $2, something like that. Get access to courses, daily mindset exercises, trader tracker, which of course I'm going to improve this stuff as the time goes on. But we're getting there. Elite privileges is start at 3 mil, 3 million tokens, which I forget exactly what that is. Maybe 100 and something bucks. I don't know the math. I have to look honestly, but it's very cheap for what is in here. To be honest with you, so like we go through these. You got 3 courses in here for staking and liquid staking, borrowing and lending, and providing liquidity. Trading curriculum too. This is a separate package. It's something that it's like a affiliate product of ours. But these advanced strategies, and of course, whatever, you can look the stuff up on your own. You can do your own research and whatever else too. But lay this stuff out pretty easily for people that are willing to learn and want to learn how to put this stuff into play on their own. One of these days, what I'm going to do is actually have a little bit more of a um, like a community aspect on here. I don't know if it's going to be maybe here or Discord, but I'm going to start doing weekly calls, like I guess almost like a coaching call, I guess you could say. But if anybody has any questions about crypto, DeFi, any of the things that they're learning in the courses that they want to work on or get more information about, that's going to be available for people that are holders as well. Which I guess we can actually, I'll show you the Discord because it's probably going to be more feasible to do it through there. But let me. Okay. Okay. So here's our Discord. For those of you that are not aware, we do have a Discord. It's token gate kept as well. So like whenever you first start and come in here, you just verify that you're human, and then you have to connect your wallet to verify how many tokens you hold. There's a similar system. This is 3-tiered on here. Back whenever we first set this up, but you have anybody can see these, or at least these 3 maybe. I forget exactly how this is gate kept. But general admission is open for people that are just verified but not verified as holders, and then you get access to these channels too. This is the lowest tier. This one here is the mid tier. This is where I have the DeFi education stuff again as well. Some more categories in here as well. And we'll have our gold members, which is I want to say 10 million tokens or more here. But we'll probably do some type of live, like a scheduled class or a scheduled session that will take place within the Discord. I think that's my plan, is going to be within the Discord. So if you guys are active on Discord, want to check out what we got going on here. A lot of the same stuff, but just in a different location. And a lot of this was like the inspiration behind building the site too, is that I can make it a little bit more custom, do my own stuff, build in different tools, and of course Discord has some of those features as well. But want to have something a little bit that felt a little bit more like home. So in the meantime, we do have both of these. What's up, Don Seth? How you doing, brother? Francis, my man. But yeah, that's enough about that. So again, if you want to retain access to the ecosystem, to the things that we're building out here, it is imperative that you would migrate over. Because once the migration closes, all this gatekeeping is going to be switched over to the new token, and then you will, have to buy on the open market then if you want to get back in then. But yeah, I don't want to see anybody get stuck with once this 10 the February 10th, the 14 days comes around, people are going to be they're going to see a big red candle and probably freak out. But I guess what I mean to say is, for those of you that are paying attention, make sure that you just do this beforehand. If you wait until after the 2 weeks is over, there's going to be a 5% penalty. And honestly, like I didn't even want to do the penalty, but it's just one of those things that I want to encourage people to hop on board. Especially, if you've been here for a while, you see what's been done over the past several months. It doesn't make sense to stay in the old token whenever it's going to be left behind. Awesome. What's up, brother Francis? How you doing? I think I accepted your request to speak. Hey. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. It always love hearing you speak. I don't usually like the praise so much, but I do really appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, helping me at least get the word out, man. Like you're exactly right. There's a lot of stuff to do. There's only so much time in a day. But I do what I can. Try to keep everybody on track as much as I can. But there's a lot of hats to juggle, and whenever the time comes, people will start paying attention again. It's just the overall market. I get it. I get people not wanting to be in crypto, not wanting to be involved. So you know, for me, I just keep pushing, figure it out, dude. We you know what it is. There will be signs. Yes, of course, absolutely. So yeah, guys, if you guys ever need any direction either to whenever it comes to getting to the migration stuff, of course it's posted on the X channel. You can see it with our pinned posts and stuff like that as well. But just by simply coming to the site, there will be signs.io. There's migration here, migration here, migration link here. You can click on any of these, take you right to the portal. Same thing with any this to get into the Discord, to get in Telegram. Telegram is open and free for everybody. There's no gatekeeping or anything to the Telegram. Same thing with we do have an X chat as well. If anybody wants to join it or whatever as well too. I would just ask that if you're gonna be coming around or whatever, just help us out with some raids every so often. That'll be it. We don't do too many of them. The thing is, uh, most meme coins thrive on that being loud, tearing up the timeline, all that stuff, and the ethos that we're building here is a little bit different. So we don't necessarily have to be screaming on the timeline so much all the time, but just showing people that we do have others here is a huge thing too. So awesome. And then whenever it comes to updates. For the development stuff, there's a couple things. And actually, did I even push them live? Not yet. So I've made a couple more videos. I only have one left to do for the beginner course, the DeFi basics. I'm sorry, the crypto basics, setting up wallets, that kind of stuff. Um, so that one is almost done with videos as well too. There is, that's about it. And then so for the other courses, I'll start doing videos on those afterwards as well. But those it's a hit or miss, but sometimes they take me anywhere from an hour to 3 hours for each one. So it is a little bit of a task to do the recording, do the voiceover, all that kind of shit. But um, we're getting there. One of these days, I know it always seems like there's always so much to do. One of these days, this will be a little bit more developed. I got some ideas for things I want to change up on the creator tracker, things like that. But there's only so much time in a day, and I have other jobs as well. So do what I can. Anybody have any questions or anything? Yeah, I want this to be a little bit. I need to fix these tags and everything. These are all kind of just generic. Descriptions too, kind of just generic. But eventually, what I'm gonna do is have a little bit different. Like P&L doesn't really mean so much. I mean, I guess it means a little bit, but like somebody could have got hot on one trade and made a shitload of money, and it doesn't mean anything about consistency. So maybe we start doing something like win rate. I need to figure out how this data, like exactly how I can configure this data to make it a little bit more high value, I guess you could say. Because right now just being able to come in and see their open positions doesn't really do so much. I mean, it's a little bit to see what people are doing, but this only updates once a day, so it's not very informative, I guess you could say. But it's a prototype. It's something I'm working on. This is it'll evolve with time as well. Again, I'm only one person doing what I can. This migration stuff is kind of taking a big seat uh, in the list of things that have my attention. But we'll get there. We will get there. So yeah, one thing I wanted to say too, again about the migration stuff is, how it works is once the 14 days is up, so on the 10th, they'll sell all the tokens, they'll set the new liquidity pool up, and from there's a 90-day late claim window where people can come by and claim their tokens. Like maybe somebody hasn't seen all the messages, hasn't seen all the spaces, that stuff. They'll come through whenever the candle goes big and red. Our market cap's probably going to drop from 30K down to 5K, something like that. It's going to be a big red candle. Maybe not that bad, but it'll be very big. So hopefully that gets people's attention. They come in and migrate as well. But once that window is up, anything that is not migrated comes back to the team. Okay, and so one thing I want to let you guys know about is that I had to uh all so we have so we have this series of wallets and squads. Okay, so we have this series of wallets and squads. We have our team wallet, community fund, Lions Club treasury. I was unable to connect this group of wallets. So any of these three, I was unable to connect them to the migration site to do the migration. So what I had to do was send all the tokens to a different address, which I put here, about 4.5% of the supply. And so I sent this to this new address to do the migration. Whenever this is done, I'll claim the new tokens and I'm sending them back to the wallets that we see here. Okay, so I'm sure that not many people are actually looking into it, but if you look at this club holdings here, this shows our wallets. So if you look now, these wallets are going to be damn near empty because we only have some USDC. There's not very much in these wallets to begin with, mostly just signs. But you can see now there's no signs. Okay, so if you see that, don't freak out. That is why. because I had to send them to a different address in order to go through the migration. Again, they'll get sent back whenever the time comes, and that'll be it. Okay, so another thing on top of that too, when we're considering the leftover supply. So if we go with today's numbers, see that we have 13% of the supply that is migrated. That means at the end of this, 87% of the supply is going to come back to us. So what we're going to do is this. I say us, but it's mostly me. There's a couple other people, whatever, that have access to the wallets, but I'm pretty much the main driver there. Whenever this happens, there's going to be obviously a huge consolidation of supply. We have it mentioned. Let's go to, let's see. Pull it up in Gamma. Maybe pull it up in Gamma. Okay, there we go. So whenever this happens, we have a plan for how we're going to do this the supplying, the resupplying. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so first things first, after the 90-day window, so during that 90 days, after the initial 14 days, is going to be a 5% penalty. I'm also doing, and this is not part of migrate.fund, this is like just something that I'm manually going to handle. But let's say somebody comes in after the 90-day window and they're like, hey, I didn't migrate my tokens, blah, blah, blah. In month 4, which would be, you know, I think May 12th to April, whatever. We'll do it. I'll figure out hard times and whatever whenever the time comes. But in month 4, you can claim it a 75% rate. Month 5 will be 50%. Month 6 will be 25%. So if you come in month 6 and say, "Hey, I have 1,000 tokens," you'll get back 250 tokens. Okay, I don't mean to be pain in the ass about this, but this is something that we need to have some finality to it, and this is the way to do it. Okay, and to be honest, most teams don't do this. Most most people, once they go through the initial 90-day migration, that's it. Okay, so I'm extending this as a token of gratitude for you guys sticking around and being here. For anybody that might come by late, but other than that, after this month 6, that's done. And then here is what we're going to do with our unclaimed tokens. Okay, boom. So the club treasury is going to get 35%. That will just be, we'll lock it up in tranches. So let's just do some numbers. Let's say there's 800 million tokens. There, let's just say let's just say rough estimates, like 300 million tokens, 30% of the supply. It'll be split up between the treasury, the Signs team wallet, and our community wallet. Okay, so the treasury is going to be long term. We'll block it in tranches. So let's say there's 100 million tokens that come here. We'll set them aside in chunks of 2.5% or even 5% and lock them for 6 months, a year at a time. We're not going to be doing anything with these tokens. They'll just be sitting there, collecting dust. Team wallet, I'm going to do a linear vesting schedule. Okay, so we'll do. Should I do it actually, how about this? I'll do a cliff of 6 months, and then I'll do linear over the next year and a half after that. So it'll be a 2 month, or I'm sorry, a 2 year total before these become fully unlocked to the team. For now, especially, I can handle the cost for development and stuff like that. I don't see it becoming an issue. So in that case, I'm just going to lock these tokens up so that there's a gesture of good faith in that sense. This 30% to the community wallet, we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to do anything with these tokens. This is going to be for like community incentives. Let's say we want to do some type of competitions or some type of engagement raffles, or hell, even if we want to Try to find a reputable KOL or somebody that would be interested in helping us push the project. But whenever it comes to spending any money out of this wallet here, it's going to be community voted. Anything that anything that we would do out of here is going to be community voted. Okay, so these would be like any initiatives that we want to do as a community. Okay, the team wallet obviously going to be for development and operations, which again I can handle most of the operating costs already myself. This would be more for like whenever we get bigger and we need to really make things more robust. And then the club treasury is going to be for there's a couple different things I have in mind. At some point I might want. I'm thinking about. I'm going to be doing an NFT project, but the breadth of the NFT project is going to depend on a couple of things. One, legal structure. I'm not sure exactly how I can do this or if it's possible yet. But what I am planning on is having this treasury be like a yield generating part of the ecosystem. Yeah, so we'll eventually have this stocked up with obviously signs, but some Solana, some liquid stake tokens, do some borrowing and lending, do some liquidity provision, like really run this as like a treasury. And then eventually, what I would like to do is whenever we do this NFT project, have maybe quarterly or maybe even monthly, where the some of the yield generated or some of the rewards that are generated from the treasury get dispersed back out to the NFT holders. Um, I will say that there could be some regulatory concerns with this. Okay, I think that once I do that, the NFT becomes a security. But I need to do a little bit more digging into that. Okay. Worst case scenario, at some point down the road, I'll set up some type of legal entity for this. I'll do things to be a little bit more like legit in the minds of the all-seeing eye. But that's one of my plans for that is to have something to have this running as like a an income generation for the group for the community. So yeah, that's how these are going to split. So this we'll do this as like we'll lock this for a couple months or like 6 months to a year on like maybe like two different groups. So again, let's say it's 100 million tokens. We'll do 50 million tokens to unlock in 6 months. Then another 50 million tokens to unlock in the year, and then keep doing like a 6 month rotation or a 1 year rotation. However we want to do that, but we want them to be. I want it to be locked so that it's the gesture of good faith to the community. But just in case something comes up that we want to fund, we'll be able to do so and not have to wait, 3 years to do that. So there's that. Yeah, and then whenever it comes to the team wallet again, it'll be a little bit different schedule. It'll be like, and for those of you that are not aware of how that works, a cliff means, so like let's say the tokens are all everything's launched that day. The cliff is how long it takes until the first payout comes. Okay, so we'll do like a 6 month cliff. So for 6 months we will get nothing. And then after that, it'll be a linear let's say there's 100 million tokens over the next 18 months. It'd be, you know, um, 5 million to 6 million tokens, something like that. Six, seven, one of those. It'll be something like 6 or 7 million per month that would go to the team wallet. So it's not going to be just like as soon as we get done with this migration, we're just going to have 40% of the supply that we can dick around with. I do want to have that. I know that you guys that are here trust me, but I don't want new people to have to just rely on trusting me. I want it to be backed up by the code and the smart contract. So that's where we're at with that. Anybody have any questions? Hopefully my YouTube audio is a little bit better. I think I did do it a little bit better. I played around with it a little bit at least, so it sounded good on another recording I did. But you know, awesome. Well, I've wasted enough of your guys' time today. I think that we are all on the same page here. Everyone that cares is here. Everyone that halfway cares will listen later. If anybody has any questions, of course, you can reach out to me. You can also reach out to the Signs official page. I run that as well. So, either way, you'll be reaching out to me. But if you want it to be official, you can go ahead and reach out to the page. Go ahead and approve. Get Francis up here and then hacking on in. I accept. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you. Yeah. So, how long ago did you try to connect to the site? Because I did just push out an update. I think I actually, let me check in our X chat. I think it was maybe even last night, but if it was the night before, if not, because I ran into an issue myself where that it wasn't working properly. Um, I want to say it was what's today, Friday? So I want to say it was Wednesday that actually fixed that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, check it again if you would, and then reach out to me if it doesn't work, and send me your wallet address. I'll take a look and see if I can find on the blockchain, like if what's up with those migration tokens. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you, brother, and you other guys as well. I appreciate y'all for being here, and I guess we'll see you on the next one. You know what they say.